In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
All right, a couple of the things that people were asking us to cover while we were out here were for the less than tactical group. The guys who wanted that old look, that old feel. That's why we went and featured some of the Thompson subs, machine guns. Is why we went back to the World War II 1911s. But one of the things that people asked us most about was the Brownell Retro AR line. This is the gentleman who's responsible for it, Paul Levy. Thank you very much for allowing us to come over and take a look at it. Explain to us what it was that prompted Brownells to come out with this line.
Sure. Well, it actually started with the receiver sets. There was not really an option for A1 or older style uppers and lowers on the market outside of Note Expud, who we partnered with to get the forgings and bring those into our catalog. And from there, we added barrels because there wasn't any barrels on the market, the 1 in 12 twist, the proper front sight base, the proper slip ring. So we added barrels, and we added furniture, flash hiders, and all of a sudden we had all these parts. Said, why don't we just make guns out of this? We had all the parts. That wasn't the original intention, but we kind of got to the state where we had enough. And then we ran with first the AR-15 lineup, and then also we came out with the BRN-10 here. This came about because, I'm interested in this. I realized a lot of people are interested in this type of firearm, the original AR-10. There had never been a really close representation of that gun in the market, at least for a while. Armalite had done it in the early 2000s, late 90s. So this started out in a similar manner, more of a ground-up approach. This involved design work, machining and receiver sets from billets to get there. So this is the BRN-10 series right here. So this is the BRN-10A, B, and these are close representations of the original Dutch AR-10s. A lot of people don't realize that the Dutch actually produced it, not necessarily Armalite in the U.S. So these are basically, this is of Sudanese, this is more of an export Cuban style model. We are now producing original waffle mags, original style waffle mags. So this is essentially based on the original Dutch magazine print. We acquired that. And this is actually reverse compatible with original AR-10s, as well as the new BRN-10 or any other DPMS SR-25 pattern rifle. So that's very authentic for that really old school guy or retro head. These are the new grips which people have been asking about. So they wanted a more authentic AR-10 style grip, which you can see right here. And of course, the most distinctive feature, you get the trigger style charging handle on the AR-10 style rifles, chrome bolt carrier group. This one has a really light barrel. This is actually a sub 8-pound 308 right here. This guy comes in just under 9.
And I noticed we have this garbage can shooting thing.
Yeah, so
my God, look at this thing.
So right here, this is actually one of our A1s, and then we put on for the show Lewis Machine and Tool flare launcher. So this is Lewis Machine and Tool is a military contractor for the 40 millimeter grenade launcher. What they did here is modify it to only accept a 37 millimeter flare tube, but otherwise exterior appearance is authentic for that guy that wants to build a replica or a clone build of a military rifle. So this is representative like a late 1960s, early 70s M16A1.
Awesome. Yep. I noticed we got two more over here right behind us.
Let me put that guy back up.
And if we can maybe pan over just a little bit.
So this rifle here was just announced at SHOT Show 2019. This is the BRN Proto. So this is inspired by the original, or I should say the pre-production prototype AR-15s, where they had the trigger style charging handle up top. You had the AR-10 style handguards, prototype style front sight base, and distinctive for this rifle, you have a 25 round straight magazine, which nobody's ever produced before. So we actually went and produced a new magazine just for this rifle. Of course, you have the brown color. All the new rifles are shipping in this gray finish. You'll see on this side, you have the chrome slick side carrier, which would be proper for this gun. We went and produced original style ejection port covers. So this is no longer an A2 on any of the guns you get. And then a no-tick selector. All the retro AR-15s don't have any selector markings on the right-hand side of the receiver.
Everything is over on the driver's side.
Yep. And then slab side lower receiver. There's no magazine fence at all. The front pin is not captive. So some unique stuff like that. A little detail here, this roll pin actually was intended to retain the buffer tube from unscrewing. On this gun, it's just cosmetic, but that's
the attention to detail that makes it really a retro gun.
Yeah, that's a detail that most people might omit. So the other rifle we have here is something that's obviously the Proto's never been on the market. This gun's never been on the market either, but it has kind of a cult following. This is the BRN 605. It's a replica of the original Colt Model 605, which was the first attempt at making a carbine out of the M16. And what they did is they basically took a 20-inch barrel, chopped it off, and then put a 3-prong flash hider on it. Our version has a 15.5-inch barrel, pin and welded flash hider, so your legal overall length. You retain the gas system, the rifle length gas system. What we did to get this rifle to function fine with the short dwell time is we enlarged the gas port to ensure it ran fine. And then otherwise, it's an XM16E1 rifle. So back here, of course, you have the gray receiver, you got the A1 port door, chrome bolt carrier group, and then you have what's known as a partial fence lower receiver. You have now a captive front pivot pin, but no magazine release, or magazine fence around the magazine release. So again, those details for this particular model are what sets our guns apart from anyone. One is that you can't find this gun in this configuration from anyone else.
Now, do you have the cleaning kit in the stock?
No, so this is what's known as a Type D stock.
Okay.
So these are found on the very first AR-15s through the M16A1, and then the M16A1 they transitioned to the trapdoor stock. So these style stocks are authentic to this model. So no trapdoor actually on the originals. And then they had a sling swivel that would cam like this.
All right, now where is it, or are these going to be available through the FFLs or directly?
Yeah,
through
so
Brownells?
you can get them on Brownells.com, and then you can use our FFL locator, find an FFL dealer near you. You can purchase on our site, and it'll ship right to your FFL. Really easy process. Otherwise, dealers can purchase them through Crow Shooting Supply, and they're available there.
Okay, fantastic. Well, listen, if you guys want more information, go to Brownells.com and check everything out.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Paul.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time.
Yep.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers.
Senate rights, when politicians take from you and me the very liberties that set us free.